What if I told you that the greatest obstacle between you and extraordinary wealth isn't your job, your bank account, or the economy? It's a hidden program running silently inside your own mind. Every day, your subconscious is accepting commands from your thoughts, your emotions, and your beliefs. And if those commands are rooted in fear, lack, or limitation, your life will continue to reflect them. But the moment you learn to rewrite that inner program, something remarkable begins to happen. New opportunities appear. Unexpected doors open. Abundance starts flowing towards you in ways logic alone cannot explain. Today, you're about to discover how to reprogram your subconscious for divine wealth and awaken the limitless prosperity already waiting within you. Many people spend their entire lives chasing wealth without realizing that true prosperity is first created within. The subconscious mind does not question what you repeatedly impress upon it. It simply accepts your dominant beliefs as reality and works tirelessly to bring them into experience. If you've unknowingly fed it fear, doubt, or scarcity, it faithfully produces more of the same. But that also means you possess the power to transform your life by changing what you plant in the fertile soil of your subconscious. Divine wealth is not merely money, it is a state of harmony, confidence, wisdom, and unwavering expectation that life supports you. Once your inner world is aligned with abundance, your outer world begins to reflect that transformation. This journey begins not with your circumstances, but with the silent conversation taking place within your own mind. Your subconscious mind is always listening. It does not wait for special moments or dramatic events. It quietly records the thoughts you repeat every day and accepts them as instructions. Whether those thoughts are positive or negative, empowering or limiting, your subconscious treats them with the same seriousness. It does not stop to analyze whether they are true or false. It simply works to make them a part of your reality. This is why repetition is one of the greatest creative forces in your life. The words you continually speak, the images you constantly imagine, and the emotions you repeatedly experience become the blueprint from which your subconscious operates. Many people unknowingly repeat phrases such as, "Money is hard to earn, nothing ever works for me," or "I will never become wealthy." These statements may seem harmless because they are spoken casually, but to the subconscious they become repeated commands. Every repetition strengthens the mental pathway behind that belief. After hearing the same message again and again, the subconscious begins organizing your habits, decisions, expectations, and even your awareness to match that inner program. Opportunities that could lead to abundance are often overlooked because the subconscious has already accepted limitation as the normal way of life. This explains why two people can face the same circumstances and produce completely different results. One person sees possibilities where others see obstacles. Another notices only barriers and reasons to quit. The difference often begins with the subconscious programming each person has accepted over time. Circumstances themselves are not the deciding factor. The inner beliefs carried into those circumstances shape how each person responds. Your subconscious responds with remarkable consistency to repetition because repetition creates familiarity. Whatever becomes familiar eventually feels natural. If you repeatedly think about success, prosperity, confidence, and opportunity, those ideas gradually become comfortable. As they become familiar, your actions begin to reflect them without force. You naturally make decisions that support growth because your subconscious now recognizes abundance as your normal expectation. Emotion makes repetition even more powerful. A thought repeated with deep feeling leaves a stronger impression than a thought spoken without emotion. Fear, worry, and anxiety often become deeply rooted because they are charged with intense emotion. Likewise, hope, gratitude, confidence, and faith become powerful creative influences when they are genuinely felt. Go. The subconscious is impressed not only by what you think, but also by how deeply you feel while thinking it. This is why simply repeating affirmations without conviction often produces little change. Mechanical words spoken while secretly believing the opposite create conflicting impressions. The goal is not empty repetition, but meaningful repetition. Every affirmation should be spoken with calm certainty, allowing yourself to experience the feeling of already moving toward the reality you desire. Even if that feeling begins quietly, consistent practice strengthens it over time. Each morning offers a fresh opportunity to plant new ideas into your subconscious. Before the demands of the day begin, your mind is especially receptive. Instead of filling those first moments with worry, choose thoughts that support abundance. Picture yourself acting confidently, solving problems wisely, attracting meaningful opportunities, and living with financial peace. Allow those mental pictures to become vivid and emotionally satisfying. The subconscious accepts mental images as powerful instructions because it responds naturally to imagination. The final moments before sleep are equally valuable. As your conscious mind relaxes, the subconscious becomes more open to suggestion. This is an ideal time to replace fear with faith. Rather than reviewing disappointments or focusing on lack, gently impress your mind with thoughts of prosperity, wisdom, and divine guidance. Imagine your goals already unfolding. Feel gratitude for blessings that are already present while expecting greater abundance to continue entering your life. Replacing old patterns requires patience because beliefs formed through years of repetition do not disappear overnight. Every encouraging thought weakens the influence of fear. Every grateful reflection reduces the hold of scarcity. Every confident expectation strengthens the foundation of prosperity. Like water slowly shaping stone, consistent repetition gradually transforms even the deepest subconscious patterns. Your daily conversations also influence this process. The words you speak about yourself carry tremendous creative power. If you continually describe yourself as unlucky, unsuccessful, or limited, your subconscious faithfully accepts that identity. If instead you consistently declare that you are becoming wiser, stronger, more confident, and increasingly open to divine abundance, your subconscious begins organizing your inner world around those statements. The mind moves toward whatever is repeatedly impressed upon it. This quiet law operates every day, whether you recognize it or not. When you deliberately choose thoughts that reflect prosperity instead of scarcity, confidence instead of fear, and faith instead of doubt, you begin rewriting the silent program that has been directing your life from within. Before wealth can become a reality in your outer world, it must first become part of your inner identity. The subconscious mind always acts in harmony with the image you hold of yourself. If you secretly believe that you are unworthy of success, incapable of creating abundance, or destined to struggle, those beliefs quietly shape your choices every single day. They influence how you respond to opportunities, how confidently you speak, how boldly you dream, and even how much prosperity you allow yourself to receive. Your subconscious is not responding to what you wish for, it is responding to who you believe you are. Many people desire financial freedom, yet deep within they still identify with limitation. They may say they want abundance, but their inner dialogue tells a different story. They constantly compare themselves to others, question their value, and assume that prosperity belongs only to a fortunate few. These hidden beliefs become invisible walls. No matter how hard they work, they often find themselves returning to the same financial patterns because their subconscious is protecting the identity it has accepted as true. Your identity is formed through years of repeated experiences, words, and emotional impressions. Perhaps someone told you that wealthy people are selfish. Maybe you grew up hearing that money causes problems or that people like you never become successful. Even if these ideas were never intentionally taught, repeated exposure allowed them to settle into the subconscious mind. Over time, they stopped feeling like opinions and started feeling like facts. Without realizing it, you began making decisions that match those beliefs. The beautiful truth is that no identity is permanent. The subconscious mind can accept a new self-image when it is impressed with consistency and conviction. You are not confined to the labels given to you by your past. Every day offers an opportunity to redefine yourself from within. Instead of seeing yourself as someone trying to become prosperous, begin seeing yourself as a person who naturally attracts wisdom, opportunities, creativity, and abundance. This subtle shift changes the direction of your thoughts and influences every action that follows. Worthiness plays a vital role in this transformation. Many people unknowingly reject prosperity because they feel they have not earned it or do not deserve it. They celebrate other people's success while secretly believing that such blessings are not meant for them. The subconscious faithfully reflects this feeling by limiting what they allow themselves to receive. Divine wealth cannot flow freely into a mind that continually questions its own value. Recognize that your worth is not measured by your current income, your past failures, or the opinions of others. Your value exists because you possess the ability to think, create, serve, and grow. The more you acknowledge this truth, the more naturally your subconscious accepts abundance as something that belongs in your life. Confidence begins replacing insecurity, expectation replaces hesitation, and gratitude replaces comparison. Another powerful barrier to divine wealth is guilt. Some people carry guilt about past mistakes, financial decisions, or missed opportunities. They believe they should have acted differently years ago and continue punishing themselves through thoughts of regret. The subconscious cannot distinguish between a punishment you consciously choose and one you unconsciously maintain. As long as guilt remains active, it quietly blocks your willingness to embrace greater prosperity because you feel undeserving of a better future. Forgiveness becomes an essential step in creating a new identity. Forgive yourself for the choices made with limited knowledge. Release the belief that your past must determine your future. Every successful person has experienced failure, uncertainty, and disappointment. The difference is not perfection, but the willingness to adopt a new vision of themselves despite previous setbacks. Your subconscious responds powerfully when you stop identifying with yesterday and begin identifying with the person you are becoming. Visualize yourself living from this new identity every day. Imagine making decisions with confidence instead of fear. Picture yourself speaking with calm assurance, recognizing valuable opportunities, solving challenges creatively, and feeling genuine peace around money. Allow these mental images to become familiar. The subconscious accepts repeated imagination as preparation for reality. As your inner identity changes, your habits begin to change naturally. You become more disciplined, more observant, more courageous, and more willing to act on inspired ideas. When your subconscious fully accepts that abundance is part of who you are, you no longer chase wealth from a place of desperation. You approach life with quiet certainty, knowing that your thoughts, actions, and expectations are aligned with the prosperous identity you have deliberately chosen to cultivate. Faith is one of the most powerful forces that can impress the subconscious mind. It is not blind hope or wishful thinking. It is the quiet inner certainty that what you have accepted in your mind is already moving toward expression. Long before your eyes witness change, your subconscious begins responding to the beliefs you consistently hold. This is why faith is often described as seeing the invisible before it becomes visible. When you truly believe that divine wealth is flowing into your life, your subconscious accepts that belief as reality and begins directing your thoughts, emotions, and actions toward its fulfillment. Most people wait for external proof before they allow themselves to believe. They tell themselves that once they receive more money, then they will feel secure. Once they achieve success, then they will become confident. Once opportunities appear, then they will trust that abundance is possible. But the subconscious works in the opposite direction. It responds first to your inner conviction and then influences the outer experiences that reflect it. Faith comes before visible evidence, not after it. Imagine a gardener planting seeds in fertile soil. The moment the seed disappears beneath the ground, nothing visible seems to happen. Days may pass without any sign of growth, yet the gardener continues watering the soil because there is complete confidence that life is already developing beneath the surface. The subconscious mind works in much the same way. Every positive belief you impress upon it is like planting a seed. Even when nothing appears to be changing outwardly, unseen processes are already taking place. New ideas begin forming, unexpected connections develop, opportunities move closer, and your awareness starts shifting toward possibilities that were previously overlooked. Impatience often weakens faith. Many people begin practicing affirmations or visualization with excitement, but after a few days they become discouraged because immediate results do not appear. They start questioning whether the process is working. Those repeated doubts send conflicting messages to the subconscious. Instead of nourishing the seed they planted, they begin digging it up to see if it has grown. Every moment of unnecessary worry interrupts the mental atmosphere that allows prosperity to develop naturally. Faith grows stronger through consistency. It is built every time you choose trust instead of fear. When financial challenges arise, faith reminds you that temporary conditions do not define permanent outcomes. Difficult moments become opportunities to strengthen your inner certainty rather than reasons to abandon it. The subconscious notices this consistency. It recognizes that your belief is no longer dependent upon changing circumstances, but is becoming part of your permanent mental attitude. Gratitude is one of the purest expressions of faith. When you sincerely appreciate the blessings already present in your life, you send a powerful message to your subconscious that abundance is real. Gratitude shifts your attention away from what appears to be missing and focuses it on what is already growing. A grateful mind naturally expects more good because it has trained itself to recognize the presence of good everywhere. This expectation creates emotional harmony within the subconscious, allowing prosperity consciousness to deepen. Imagination also strengthens faith because the subconscious responds vividly to mental pictures. When you consistently imagine yourself living with financial peace, meaningful success, and generous abundance, you become emotionally familiar with those experiences before they physically arrive. The subconscious does not clearly separate vividly imagined experiences from deeply felt reality. Each visualization reinforces the belief that your desired future is becoming increasingly natural and attainable. There will be moments when fear attempts to replace faith. Unexpected expenses, disappointments, delays, or uncertainty may tempt you to return to old patterns of worry. During these moments, remember that fear and faith cannot occupy the same mental space with equal power. Whichever one you continually nourish becomes the dominant influence upon your subconscious. Every time you deliberately choose confidence instead of anxiety, you strengthen the inner foundation upon which lasting prosperity is built. True faith also inspires action. It does not encourage passivity or waiting for miracles without effort. Instead, it creates calm confidence that allows you to recognize opportunities others overlook. It encourages you to learn new skills, make wise decisions, serve others with excellence, and remain open to unexpected pathways. Your subconscious begins guiding your attention toward ideas and possibilities that align with your deeply accepted beliefs. What once seemed like coincidence often becomes the natural result of a mind that has learned to trust the invisible process unfolding within. Reprogramming your subconscious mind is not complete the moment you accept new beliefs. The true transformation begins when your daily life starts reflecting those beliefs through consistent thoughts, words, and actions. Your subconscious is constantly observing the way you live. It pays attention to what you repeatedly do far more than what you occasionally say. If your actions continue expressing fear, hesitation, and limitation, your subconscious receives mixed messages. But when your daily habits align with the prosperous identity you have chosen, the new program becomes stronger until it feels completely natural. Many people wait until they become successful before they begin thinking like successful people. They believe confidence will arrive after achievement, discipline will appear after motivation, and abundance will follow once circumstances improve. The subconscious works in the opposite direction. It first accepts a new inner pattern, then gradually shapes your behavior to match it. This is why you must begin living as the person your subconscious is creating long before the final results appear. Every small action becomes a declaration that you trust the new identity growing within you. Start by becoming aware of your daily conversations. Every word you speak about yourself influences your subconscious. If you constantly describe yourself as unlucky, financially trapped, or incapable of success, those descriptions become part of your identity. Instead, choose words that strengthen your new mental blueprint. Speak with confidence about your ability to learn, grow, create value, and attract meaningful opportunities. Your subconscious responds to these repeated declarations by making them increasingly believable through experience. Your habits also communicate powerful messages. Small daily disciplines often produce greater transformation than occasional bursts of motivation. Reading a few pages that expand your understanding, managing your finances with wisdom, organizing your environment, honoring your commitments, and consistently improving your skills all reinforce the belief that you are becoming a person prepared for greater prosperity. The subconscious recognizes these repeated actions as evidence that abundance is becoming your natural way of living. Your environment quietly influences your thinking as well. The people you spend time with, the conversations you entertain, the information you consume, and the atmosphere surrounding your daily life all leave impressions upon your subconscious. If you constantly expose yourself to negativity, criticism, fear, and hopelessness, those influences slowly shape your expectations. Choose environments that encourage growth, optimism, wisdom, and possibility. Surround yourself with ideas that remind you of your potential rather than your limitations. Living from your new identity also means responding differently when challenges appear. Financial setbacks no longer become proof that abundance is impossible. Instead, they become temporary lessons that strengthen your character and deepen your understanding. A prosperous mindset does not deny difficulties, but it refuses to let temporary conditions define permanent beliefs. Your subconscious learns resilience every time you remain calm instead of reacting with fear. Patience becomes one of your greatest strengths during this process. Deep subconscious transformation does not happen through force. It develops through steady repetition and faithful consistency. There may be days when visible progress seems slow, but every positive thought, every disciplined habit, and every courageous decision continues strengthening the new mental foundation you are building. Lasting prosperity is rarely created by dramatic moments. It is often the result of countless small choices made with unwavering commitment. Generosity is another powerful expression of an abundant identity. When you live with the understanding that divine supply is constantly flowing, you naturally become more willing to share your kindness, encouragement, knowledge, time, and resources. This is not about giving recklessly or ignoring wisdom. It is about refusing to let fear of lack control your heart. The subconscious associates generosity with confidence and trust, reinforcing the belief that there is always enough to create value and receive value in return. Remain attentive to inspired ideas that arise during quiet moments. The subconscious often communicates through gentle impressions rather than dramatic revelations. A new business idea, a creative solution, an unexpected opportunity to help someone, or a strong desire to learn a valuable skill may all be signs that your inner programming is guiding you toward greater abundance. Do not dismiss these impressions simply because they seem small. Many extraordinary achievements begin with one quiet thought acted upon consistently. Each day becomes another opportunity to strengthen the person you are becoming. With every intentional thought, every grateful prayer, every disciplined action, and every decision rooted in faith instead of fear, your outer life gradually begins reflecting the prosperous identity your subconscious has fully accepted as your new reality.